And I'm not going to say what club that is because you can chip with any of them. Okay? Any of them. Okay, maybe not your driver. And not your putter. So grab I'm going to use my 8-iron. So during a round, I will chip with many of my clubs. And sometimes I'm getting really good with my sand wedge, and I'll use that more so on particular days. And on some days, I'm like, oh, my sand wedge, my eyes, my feel is a little cold, my hands are a little stiff. It's just easier sometimes to putt / chip with a 7, even 6-iron, 8-iron. So today I'm going to use my 8. And we're just going to get the feel back in our hands, even though it's 50 below here. So chipping, made easy. I got a bucket of balls. If you've got wiffle balls, great. If you've got real balls, it's the best for chipping because you get the feel. So if you're in your basement, you could have real golf balls. You could have a ironing board with a sheet over it. And you could practice your chipping all winter long, and by the time next spring comes up, you'll be chipping it in the hole because you've tried it so much. This is the key here. You have done it so much that you finally relax and your hands are not clenching at the moment of impact. That's key. Your hands are not going, oh, at the moment of impact. When I am not chipping well, I can literally say that the reason why is because I'm going, oh no, don't hit it too hard. I'm not trusting myself. Yikes! What is that? That's scared Carrie. I'm tired. Then I realized, Care, just take a bunch of practice swings so you're feeling it in your shoulders and your hands become attached to your shoulders and there's no jolt at impact. That is so key. Or squeeze tight at impact. So if that's you, noticing is half the battle. Noticing and then practicing that out of your mental thoughts of what you're doing when you're chipping. This is the secret. The secret that nobody talks about is what you're thinking while you're chipping. Okay, so I got a whole bunch of balls and I'm going to talk about technique just for 1 second. So set up. You can open your body to the target just a bit. Why, Care? Tell me why so I remember things. I gotcha. So you open up a little bit so your club stays on the target line. You don't need a big swing. If you're square like this, the club comes off the target line, comes back to it, and then comes off it. So it's a way to make less errors. You're just trying to kind of putt this little thing. So opening the stance keeps the club going straight back and straight through down the intended target line. Brilliant! You can still chip with your feet square. If you want a longer chip, you then square up your feet. If you just have a short chip that you're trying to chip in the hole because it's not very far, you could open the stance and just stay right on the line to your shot. So that's the whole reason why you would potentially, when I say open stance, what does that even mean? I know there's a beginner out there going, I'm already lost, I quit. So open stance just means my chest and my hips and my feet line are open to the target. This is square to the target. See it? There's the target. And this is closed to the target. You rarely stand closed to the target unless you're up a tree. It happens because you have to stand closed. Okay, so we got open and then just a little bit of weight on your front foot. Why, Care? Why? You don't need power. You don't need to get your weight back on your right foot for power. You're just trying to make a little precise, error-free shot. So you get your weight over on your front foot, and sometimes I show it with my toe up like this. So you get the visual. You could practice like this. I do. Just to get the feeling of really rocking on that left foot. Feel that hip flexor? My sore little hip flexors working right here. Turning through the shot with the chest and the hips, and that's it. This shot is easy. It's like a toss. If I said take a ball, stand with your weight like this for a second, bend over like you do in your golf swing, booty out, and toss it. You would just follow through right down the line, just like this. You wouldn't get all wristy flippy. You would literally just go straight arm, straight arm. So that's the killer to this shot. People think that they need to get the ball up in the air. And they think that the club was not designed by an engineer to do this. And they haven't spent enough time trusting the club. So the next thing they do is flippy, 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 and it works sometimes. So therefore, they think they're doing it right. And 50% of the time, they do it okay. And 50% of the time, they scull it over the back of the green. They chunk it, they miss it. This breeds inconsistency. Flippy, flippy, flippy. It is a shot in golf, but not this one. Bump and run. We're trying to get this one to go low, similar to a putt, but because you have a lofted club, any chipper, sand wedge through to 6-5 iron, you just think about it as a putter down there. Insert visual of putter. When people have a putter in their hand, they never go flippy, flippy, flip. They just don't. So when you look down there, I want you to think that thing is a putter and just keep it low to the ground. And we're done. All right, I'm going to hit a few. Booty out. I'm aiming at my telephone pole. I'm opening up my stance. I'm on my toe for practice. And I'm just going to take a short, like a foot. And I'm going to follow through with my chest to the telephone pole. And if I really want to chip this in, my club face is kind of pointing towards my telephone pole at the end. Watch this. Key, freeze after shot. Freeze, right here, baby. Right here. Oh yeah, feeling the hip flexor. And is my club pointing at the telephone pole? Yep. Short swing, not too long, and follow through. And it's just landing like 3 feet in front of me. Ball position, I heard you. I can read all your minds now. Ball position, Care. Here's ball position story. I used to teach and say, you got to put it here, you got to put it here, and you got to put for this shot. And then people would leave the clinics and go like, where'd she say? What's happening? I can't remember anything. And so, ball position is a matter of playing. Thank you for playing when I was a young kid and learning this. Ball position, you can play with it. There's no set position. Other than, the driver, you have to play it forward in your stance off the tee. Other than that, you can play your shots back in your stance. If you play it back in your stance, it's going to go super low because you're kind of drilling down on the downswing, and it's going to go super low if you play it back here because you're hitting right down on it. If you move it more middle, it's average height. Think about it that way. And if you move it more forward, you're going to hit it a little higher, up in the upswing. So when you're chipping and playing around the greens, you play with that. So step 1, visualize shot. And again, I can hear you saying, how do you visualize the shot when you're terrible, or you're not good, or you haven't played, or you're a beginner? Even a beginner can imagine how you would throw this in the hole for it to go in. So if I was to throw this in the hole, it would go just like that. And then you go, okay, what club in my bag would make it go low like that? 7, 8, 9. Use it. And then, okay, I want to get it to go low, so I'll put it in the middle of my stance just to start. And then I'll watch it go. Okay, that was low enough. Okay, I want it to go higher. Okay, I'll put it a little bit forward in my stance, more forward this time. So I'll just amp it up forward. Everything's the same. It just goes a little higher. And then if I decide, oh, I really want this to roll, I'm going to crank it right at the back of my stance and watch it go miles, really low. So my advice is play, and if you really want to be a good chipper, do it on a daily basis. Hit 10, 20, 30 chip shots. You can't not improve. You just can't. If you're thinking about it being a putt, you don't have to lift it. This right here makes you a little inconsistent when you're trying to do this chip shot. Okay, anybody got any questions? Melissa, you got any for me? Do.
I guess when I chip, I always feel like I have to, that's the thing, is letting the club do the work, because I always feel like I have to, like, hit the ball.
Yes.
So mine will go so far, right? Like, I feel like I have to hit it, but I just have to get to realize the club will do the work.
So the more you do it, this is why practice is so key, because this is what happens. People don't practice, and then they go and they play. And here comes the chip shot. Oh no. And their whole head is going, oh no, oh no, oh no, I haven't done this in weeks. And then they hit a shitty chip shot, and then they go, I suck at chipping. I'm like, okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't suck at chipping. You haven't done it in 2 weeks. Your hands are like lead. And your mind frame is going like, oh no. So those two things together are a disaster. So if you're just home during the cold winter, and instead of getting, longer and longer and further away from chipping ever until spring, you could take the socks, you could take the wiffle ball and do it. What is key, even for me, as I am, supposed to be good at this, I get tense too. I get the words in my head. Oh no, you haven't done this shot in 2 weeks. You haven't practiced. You're no good at this. So to stand here and just do it until I'm literally not even thinking about anything, and then my hands relax, and it really feels like it's in my shoulders. I'm just going like this, and then my hands are connected, and so is the club, and I'm actually feeling like my hand is right here when I practice a lot. If my hand doesn't feel like it's an extension of this club, and it feels like an ice queen, I don't do it well either. So the more you repeat it, it's like walking. It's like walking, and this is why I do the winter thing more and more now, so I don't want to come back in the spring and be ice queen. Just chip it, just putt it, and finally I'm relaxing. Like my hands, I can feel them, although they're frozen, they're relaxing. Relaxing is key.
The grip is the same, right?
The grip is the same. Yeah, so short carry likes it, my club short. Tall, you guys, you might like the middle. Taller, you guys, might like the whole length of your clubs because you're 5'9". Good for you. I'm not jealous. Okay, so we got Janet here. We got Tanya wearing her hat out for a walk. Anybody else? We got Sweden here. We got women from all over the world. Do you have any questions at all about how to be a chipper inner? So what's the answer? How do you be a chipper inner? Melissa, come on, girlfriend. How do you do it? Practice. Yes, baby. It's the only way. It's the only way. Yetzi.
Just one thing. Okay. So can you help me a little bit on the aiming?
Yep.
To the hole.
Okay.
Because usually the green doesn't have a whole lot of marks on it for me to follow.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so this line is going down to my telephone pole down there. This is what they call, the target line. So all of this from the ball down, this is called the target line. This is all that matters. So when you line up, you want to put your club down so the lines on the club are going straight out. And now the club is lined up to the telephone pole. Now you getting in on this is key. So now my feet are square. My body line is parallel to the target line. See it? Okay, you can chip like this, okay? You can. But when I'm trying to get you to be a chipper inner, I'm like, okay, let's shorten the backswing, because that's the first thing I see. People take this big honking backswing and then decelerate. So I'm like, okay, a way to get them to not do that is if to open the stance, and now I'm gonna move my line. It's now like this. I'm open to the target in the snow. And now I'm open, and that helps me shorten the backswing. Beautiful. And it's really hard for me to take the club way back here. So it avoids too long of a backswing and keeps the club on the target line. Again, you don't have to be open. It's a little trick of the trade, let's call it. Now I am lined up. My club face is still going down the intended target line. I got my little fancy stance with my weight on my front foot. I'm going to show you there, booty out. And then it's just a follow through right down the line. My club face is going to aim right at that telephone pole as I finish and freeze right here. Get that chest moving like a toss. Is that good?
It is good, but I want to ask you a question. Do you get behind the ball first when you approach? Do you get behind the ball to get your eye on like that? Yeah. Do you? And then
Yes.
put your.
So on the golf course, I'll stand here like this with any shot, and I'll go like, okay. Where is there a leaf? Is there a flower? Is there a something that I can use that's kind of going down the line towards what I'm trying to hit? And so it could be, sometimes it's a blade of grass, like thin, and it's yellow. Or it's a flower, or it's a bug. I use a dandelion, or anything that's kind of right there. And I'm like, hello, little dandelion. And I'm talking to it, literally going like, I'm lining up to that, which is in line with that. It's easier. So the answer is yes, I absolutely do that every time. You know, in golf, I got so sick of doing the shot without knowing if I was actually lined up, talking, having fun, whatever. It's the one, I take 1 minute and I'm like, Kara, you promised that you would never hit a shot without being lined up ever again. So you take your 1 minute, walk away from your gang, start here. This is when I'm like zoned out, I call it. Even if I'm playing for fun, I find it's fun to try to chip in. So I'm like, take a deep breath. This is your moment. Line up, breathing, ignoring everybody else. Breathing. Are you here? Yes, I am. Are you lined up? Yes. Breathe, ignoring anybody else talking. Are you lined up? Yes, I am. And sometimes I can't block them out. I'm literally talking to myself. And they don't even notice. I'm over here talking to myself, and I'm like, line up. Okay, Kara, get it in. Okay. I get myself all psyched up over here, and I just love to try and to say that I was actually in the moment and I did actually line up and I tried. To me, that's success. And if I missed, it's okay. But were you really there? And that's hard. And that's where the meditation comes in, and, you know, staying focused and learning to breathe. Does anybody else have a question? We got lots of newbies here. Mel, you're even here for golf class. Wow. All right. Lester, you got anything?
I do. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think about where you're striking the ball? Do you think about hitting it behind the ball? Just hit the ball? What do you think about with that?
So when I'm hitting the ball, I'm trying to like compress the ball and smash it to oblivion. I'm kind of looking at the back of the ball. But when I'm chipping and I'm around the greens like this, I'm just trying to make nice contact, just looking at the ball. Yeah. Where do you look, Lester?
Well, as I'm standing here practicing, I'm thinking that I might be trying to hit behind the ball, and maybe that's why I kind of scull it often, is I'm like slicing under it somewhat.
Okay, so I guess if we're going to take this to the next level, I'm thinking, you know, I'm coming down on it. And have you ever seen my quarter drill? The quarter drill, I put 2 quarters after the ball, and 2 quarters before the ball. And I'm trying not to hit the quarters before the ball. So I'm just trying to hit down on the ball and maybe even brush the grass beyond the ball. So hitting down on it is, you know, a thought as I'm doing this little chip shot, and it helps with the booty out and the weight on the front foot. And so, yeah, just hitting I guess the back of the ball is a good thought to then hit the back of the ball and then maybe brush the grass beyond. Janet, our 9/ I live in Sanibel going down to 7 handicap. What do you do for chipping? Anything different there? Anything to add, lovely?
No, but I can tell you, to look up when you do it, you're gonna skull it across the screen.
Looking up. So,
Yeah, don't do that.
so here's a little thing. You can raise your spine a little as you do this shot to toss it. But if you're totally standing up to look at it, so you gotta see my spine angle right here? It's kind of steady. And then at the end it can lift, but if you lift as you make it, which is what she meant, then you're gonna skull it. So a good, you know, my hip flexor, my sore hip flexor right here is grinding to stay down. Right, oh baby. Staying down through it versus popping up right at the impact. So I love to just be just down for an extra second, and as you're watching your shot. Right there.
That's 100% it.
So for me,
Not
I
have my
can,
camera on, but yeah, you're both exactly right. I think it's, as I'm twisting, I'm lifting.
and you can see why. Like my 50-year-old hip is going, hello, Care. Do you feel me? Yes, I do. I feel you. And so just doing this motion right now is warming up that little hip flexor. Reminder to stay down and through it, but you're still moving that chest with that little hip flexor. Feeling it. Maybe because it's 50 below. Okay, anybody else have any chipping questions at all? Katarina in Sweden. Okay, so let's practice chipping. So when we get out to the spring, or whenever you go practice, or whenever you go play, if you just take a few more chip shots, like 10, and wherever you are on this planet, and your hands actually, you can say, they're not jolting at the shot, they're not squeezing it at the moment, then you've leveled up. You've leveled up. How often do you offer golf lessons? Okay, so this is my Golf Geek gang. And we hang out and talk golf every Tuesday and Thursday in Hang with the Pro. And I talk golf during the workouts. And as a member of this group, you can send me your video of your golf swing once a month so I can draw circles on your head and help you. It's so fun. Okay, anybody else have any questions at all?
Wait, Kara, she wants when your classes are. Tell her when your online classes are.
Okay, the online classes, so they start January 8th. I'm literally out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can join the 8 o'clock class, the 11 o'clock class, or the level 2 if you've taken level 1 class is at 9. So January 8th, I'm out here doing this every 6 weeks. You can join the class. It starts every 6 weeks again until it's spring again.
And I'm gonna jump in there and say, if anybody's on the fence, thinking about doing Kara's class, do them. You guys know she says I'm a decent golfer. It's for everyone. Beginners to advanced. Carrie's got like amazing tips. You
Thanks,
feel like
Jen.
when you're out there, she's right here on your shoulder. When you go out to play and you hear her. So highly recommend you doing that. And I'm not a brown nose.
You know what I've learned is that, like fitness, you guys have now gotten me to work out for 4 years. And then I was like, well, I could get the golf in on that scene too. And now you guys make me do this more. And I'm so grateful for the push of, you know, staying current with fitness and golf. And it's all because of this group, this team of Keener Beaners, just trying to be a little bit better, just a little bit better than they were yesterday. Okay, gang. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's so fun to have Golf Geek friends. It's so great. Okay, get set up for winter. If you are at home in an apartment building, you can do this. If you are stuck all winter, all long inside, you can do this. A lot of the time I'm talking swinging without a ball even. So let's just keep moving over the winter. Lordy, we're gonna make it one day at a time. Okay, Katarina, we get to see Sweden. She's on the train, eh? Are you going to work or what are you doing? Aww. Love it.
I'm in Switzerland.
You're in Switzerland. Are you going to see your boy play?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. I feel like I'm there with you. It's so lovely to see. Oh.
And Carrie,
Yeah?
where do we find this? I kind of looked around too to find your live sometimes. Where exactly? Golf community, and then just look for the live feed.
Yeah, so Hang with the Pro. I got to get out of the workout scene so people can go do the workout and we can post it. And so Golf Hang with the Pro is always in Golf Community, and I have the events coming up. You can see them coming up, or if you want to see an old one, you go to past and they're all there. So always, yes, in the Golf Community, the Golf Geek situation.
Thanks.
Look at her outside. It's looking cold, Tanya.
It's hard to find the golf balls in the snow.
Awesome. Okay, gang, we'll see you. Tomorrow is bicep blow off, and we have 2 classes, 7 a.m. and 11 for the West East crew. Deb, which one are you coming to?
Morning.
Okay, good. Antoinette too. It teases them. They're like, maybe I could just go at 11, but they've created this great habit of getting up early. So we'll see y'all in the morning. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Have a great day.
We're so lucky.